Your radio on air online, Lake 961's, Saturday at the 70's. That was the first single release for the band Yipes from their debut album in 1979. That first single was East Side Kids. We're happy to have Pete Strand from the band Yipes joining us on this last week of Homemade Hitmakers Month on the program to talk a little bit about the band Yipes and what's happened to the group since. Now, explain what you're doing now.
Well, I'm an entertainment lawyer, and I'm one of the partners in a 5-lawyer firm that is dedicated to doing all entertainment law. And we're the only all entertainment law firm in the Chicago metro area and possibly in the Midwest. And we represent all areas. We represent creative people and production companies in all areas of entertainment. We do television, reality television, scripted television. We do films, feature and documentary. We do theater. I do lots of music, a couple record companies, more on the artist side, but not exclusively. And we represent artists and creative people and make sure that they're protecting their rights and they're exploiting their rights appropriately, and that the deals they make are that they understand what they're doing and making the best deal they can. And that's my practice. It's a lot of fun. I work with a lot of artists and creative people, and it's been great.
Is your time as a musician with Yipes, with Slick, and with the Men About Town, did that influence your choice in moving into that area of law?
It absolutely did. When I went to law school, I thought that I wanted to get into entertainment law. I didn't really know what that meant until I got into law school a little bit. But it took a little while to evolve my practice to doing entertainment law. You kind of have to learn how to be a lawyer. Mm-hmm. And I started out doing litigation, which I liked a lot for a few years, and learned some skills and learned how to read contracts and to see where the language resulted in, some ambiguity that caused the parties to end up in litigation, things like that. And I also started to expand into intellectual property, things like copyright and trademarks and trade secrets, and gained an understanding of that, which fits hand in glove with entertainment, because artists and production companies and producers all need to protect their brand names, and that's one of the things we do. So the other thing I think is I understand the pressures that are on a musician better than someone who hadn't been, had the opportunities I had to be a musician for as long as I had. In the music business, a bad deal is better than no deal often. And that's because it can put you onto a platform that you wouldn't otherwise get onto. Like, after I graduated from law school, I was at my folks' house and going through some papers, and I found the Millennium Recording Agreement. I had signed it happily. We had a record deal. It was great, but I didn't really know. Mm-hmm. I didn't really know at the time. So when I read it, I went, oh, man, this is a terrible deal. And this was true for lots of things in the music business and to a certain extent in the entertainment business. It didn't matter.
The time you spent with Yipes, what do you take away from that in regards to everything that's happened in your life since? Well,
it really was a wonderful time. It was exciting. I was there with good friends. We were literally a neighborhood band, and to analogize to like baseball, I feel like we made it to the majors for a season, and we played in the show, and it's a great memory, and I don't have any what ifs. And I also know that part of the reason we got to where we got was we worked hard. So we had some luck, we had some good connections that kind of fell our way. And we worked hard and put ourselves in a position where people would be interested in noticing us. So, it's a very, very happy memory. I'm still in touch with all the Yipes guys. I talked to Mike Hoffman today. I saw Pat McCurdy last Tuesday night. I saw Teddy Freese, the drummer, down in Texas at the South by Southwest Music Conference. He was there with his band Jigsaw Scene. I'm playing in a band right now with Andy Bartell called the Rocktails. So you build a bond, you have this camaraderie that's really special, and that's probably my biggest takeaway. We put in the hours, we rehearsed, we tried to be good. It's an interesting thing to do because you want to be the best band in the world, and every night you step up on a stage, and what you do for a living is subject to instant review from the people you're doing it for, and you know, they can boo you, or they can throw stuff at you, or they can cheer you and celebrate you, but you put it out there, you know, right there for instant criticism, and you've got to kind of steel yourself, because you have to believe that you're good, but you also have to be smart enough to be able to step back and go, well, we weren't very good there, were we? You know, so it's an interesting kind of juxtaposition of attitudes.
Well, you mentioned you tried your best to be good, and from this listener's perspective, Pete, you guys succeeded. You put out some wonderful material.
Well, thanks. It's really nice to hear that, Ted. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you hear the fun that we had. I mean, it was you know, listen, it wasn't all beer and Skittles. There were trying times, and times that it seemed a little bleak when, you know, you're in a big room and there's nobody there, and the club owner doesn't seem to like you, and you don't have enough money for beer. But, you know, it's just all part of the whole experience, and if you add it all up, you come out way ahead. That's what I think.
And we thank Pete Strand, bass player for the band Yipes, for joining us to tell us a little bit about the band during this last week of Homemade Hitmakers Month on Saturday at the 70s here at Lake 96.1, which continues shortly.